Hello YouTube, I think I'm live now. For those who are new to the channel, I know we've got a few new subscribers. I'd like to say hello, I'm Andrew. I run the Money Mental UK YouTube channel. This channel is mainly about mental health, reselling on eBay, and occasionally having a bit of fun as well, and a few chats with my subscribers and just enjoying each other's company. So today is a Monday Night Mental episode, which is going to focus on mental health. It's not been broadcast on a Monday because I was doing seller ads yesterday with some of the other eBay resellers, so we're a day behind, but I promised the people in the Money Mental support group that I run that I would have a chat about mental health and anxiety today, so that's what I'm doing. I'll just say a few hellos before we get underway. I think we've got a few people in the chat already. We've got Aid. Hi Aid. We've got Richard Payne. Hi Richard. We've got Lisa. Lisa Cotton. Hi Lisa. And we've got Matt from Retro Reselling 82 as well. So hello everyone. How are you all today? I'm just sending out a message on my Facebook group. So just bear with me a second while I do that, guys. That takes me a while to manipulate the technology, but yeah, and to actually find the right windows. Hi Bex, how are you? Hi Derek, you okay mate? Looks like we've got a few people joining in, so that's good. I just put a message up on the group. There we go. I think that's gone in. Who else have we got as well? Let's have a look. Bex is good. Lisa's worn out from swimming and bowling. At least you survived the experience though, Lisa. You've not drowned. No children have been harmed in the process. So that's got to be a step forward. Well, hopefully it's a step forward anyway. Let me just see if I can get this done. Yeah, there we go. That's all done. Notifications have gone out. Fantastic. So, lovely people, here we are. I thought, hi BCP, how are you? Hi Vicky, how are you? Looks like we've got a few people coming in. Have I got a notification to say, oh, my phone is dialing live as well. I've just got to adjust the screen so I can see myself on it as well. I'll give everyone a minute or two to join us because the notification just going out. Hi Chelsea, Alan, that is. How are you, mate? You okay? Yeah, I can see myself on screen now. Fantastic. Still haven't quite worked out how to get the chat window and the Hangout open on the same screen at the same time, so I have to cover myself up on chat. But there we go. Yeah, it's always an interesting question, how are you, isn't it? And whatnot, because, you know, a lot of people don't tend to sort of open up or answer that question as, you know, normally they'll say like, I'm fine or I'm okay and such like, without really saying sort of properly how they are feeling. I at the minute have sort of been but like Beck says, people say I'm good, it's easier. I've been struggling the last sort of few weeks really with my sort of anxiety. It's sort of gradually been getting worse, and it's frustrating. Yeah, definitely frustrating is the word I would use to describe that, because I sort of reached the point sort of about February, March time, maybe slightly later, where it was maybe into April, where it was still there, but it was sort of, I would say, moderate. It wasn't sort of impacting on my daily life. You know, it would come out to play every so often, but overall it wasn't sort of causing me any issues. But these last few weeks have just been absolutely terrible. Having a real sort of whirlpool of emotions, I guess. And my anxiety has sort of been sky high, really, again. And it's unfortunate because it means that I've not been able to do a lot of the things that I would normally do. I've not sort of listed anything on eBay, really, apart from a couple of items over the last week or two, because it's just been a bit of a struggle to find the motivation. And one of the things I find as well when the anxiety is high is that, hey Nick, how are you, mate? You okay? One of the things I find as well when the anxiety is high is that I don't know if it's just me or if it's other people, but seem to feel emotions more intensely as well. Just sort of like experience things a lot deeper. It was weird. I was out the other day, met a friend for a coffee and whatever, and then when he went, I just felt so crushingly lonely afterwards. It was unreal. I was like, this is mad. So I can't believe the depth of emotion here, just from like having to go and be on my own as I normally am for a bit. So yeah, it's a very strange thing. And you have any emotion. So if you get angry about something, that comes across 10, 100, 1,000 times worse. And sometimes you do things out of that emotion that you regret, but it is just part and parcel of being mentally ill. Yeah, definitely, I'd agree, Nick. The emotions can be tied to how stressed you are. Your stress goes up, and your emotional sort of intensity seems to increase with it as well. Age says he's in and out of the chat, just finding someone else up for a change. So not me for once. I've got away with that one then, have I, Aid? Hi, Devon Twinks. How are you? Devon Twins, sorry, I misread that. Alan's saying, yeah, how are you? Dancing good, it's just a force of habit. You want to be polite and not burn anyone. Absolutely, I think that's quite right. So yeah, I think though, when we're experiencing this anxiety and this emotional intensity, there are a few things that we can do. Hey Steve, how are you, mate? You okay? So there's a few different techniques we can employ. There's distraction. So you can find something else to occupy your time, occupy your mind, etc. I know a lot of people do things like sort of craft projects and such like when they're feeling anxious. I have the crafting ability of a dead fish, that's been filleted and is now on somebody's plate. I've got no ability to do crafting whatsoever. They're all speaking Wolverhampton language to each other now. Yeah, I can't do it. And even if I do try something like that, it doesn't seem to distract my mind from the sort of overthinking that sort of constantly occurs. And yeah, that overthinking is dangerous as well, because it can lead you into a sort of dark and dangerous place, really. Another option is, so you can distract yourself and try to do crafty things. I'll go out or force myself to go out, go for a walk, whatever, go to the supermarket, do something like that. I used to use sourcing as a distraction, but I've got too much tap now. I think I've distracted myself enough with that. So my next project is actually going to be to invest the money that I would normally put into stock, into storage boxes and stuff, so I can get the rest of my tap out of the house and into my storage unit. So that's what I'm going to do. Probably I've got to go to Leeds for a couple of days, but when I get back from Leeds, I'm going to buy a big load of storage boxes, and then I'm going to focus on getting the house back into shape how it should be. I think that's how I'm going to distract myself largely. I have got an Amazon conference to go to on Monday as well, but I'm feeling a bit anxious about that, so we might talk about that later. We might not. But yeah, oh, come hi, say hi, by the way, folks. If you're watching, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat and join the conversation. So yeah, as I say, distraction is definitely an option, but it doesn't resolve the underlying causes of the anxiety. There is something that's triggered it. There are always things that will trigger that that sort of anxiety and that feeling. I I get triggered. Anyone who has anxiety gets triggered by things. That happened to me the other day. I got sort of quite badly triggered, and well, sometimes it builds up. Sometimes it can start off getting a small thing will happen, and you might be okay if you've got a couple of days, but then something else happens the next day, and it builds on it, and then something the day after, and then something happens that just pushes you over the edge. If you've not tackled what caused you to start feeling like that in that place, and I've made that mistake. I did that. I've not been tackling what's going on underneath. So there's distracting yourself, but there's also having people to talk about things with, having people to trust. I talked a bit about support networks on my last Monday Night Mental, which I think was actually on a Monday night. And it's definitely important to surround yourself with people who understand you, understand what you're going through, understand the fact that you can't always be the person you want to be, and don't judge you when you're not, sort of thing as well. Just accept that that's who you are on that particular day. And then they're sort of there for you to listen and talk to, and for you to do the same as well, because I get a sort of a positive from helping others and talking to them, and listening to them, and it's the same for other people. I know there's a lot of fear. Sometimes we fear that we'll be a burden, or we're being too high maintenance or whatever. It's a fear that sits there, but it's usually a fear that other people are having as well. And I think you find if you do talk about it, you do take that step and have that first conversation, then actually you find that you're not alone. As Nick is saying there, it's difficult sometimes to put it into words, and openly talking about stuff is difficult, but you can do it. And I thank you for your kind words there, Nick. So there is a way. Sometimes you'll be in a situation where there is no right way for you. There's no, anxiety's pushed you in a corner, and you've just got to get out of that situation. You have that fight or flight response, and sometimes you'll fight, and sometimes you'll run from it. And the amount of shame that you can feel afterwards, just for having that is unreal sometimes. I get embarrassed by my actions quite a lot, and it's often stuff I couldn't control or help at the time. But again, as I say, you're not the only one who's feeling like that. You're not the only one who's been in that position. There are lots of people around. I run a Facebook group, the Money Mental Support Group, which is all more than welcome to join. That's full of people who've been through sort of similar situations and similar experiences, and probably are doing so now. And not all of them yet are in that position where they feel that they can open up and talk about it. As such, they could be going through difficult circumstances. Could be going through a divorce at the moment. They could be going through. They could have lost some friends, or they could be going through a change in job, or sort of under financial pressures, debt, or whatever. The circumstances can be wildly different from person to person, but the impact and the effect that people have, it's amazing. It's amazing how often that is the same. I mean, for example, for now, me talking to you at the minute, my heart rate is through the roof. I'm probably having a panic attack as we speak. Yeah, I definitely can feel my anxiety rising. It physically manifests, sweating, the pulse rate's up. I can feel like this sensation sort of shooting through my body. And that's the anxiety sort of fighting against me, really. It's saying to me, don't go on here and do this. Don't talk about this, because it knows that me talking about things and having these conversations is helping me conquer it. And it don't want me to do that. And it's probably the same for yourselves with your anxiety as well. It probably feels happiest when you're sort of alone and you're struggling with your thoughts and whatever else, and it's keeping you sort of pinned down. That's when the anxiety seems to be the sort of the happiest. But you can't let it win, folks. You got to not keep going, because that's always a mistake I make as well. I just push on through and I keep going. I don't stop and think about what's going on for me. Well, I do. I think a lot, but I think a lot about the wrong things. I think about 6 months from now and what's going to happen, or what's going to happen next week or whatever. I'm not thinking about what's happening for me now at this particular moment. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of other people as well. You're worried about things that may never happen, and you end up forcing an outcome sometimes, I think, as well, just because it's easier to have that level of certainty, because it's a temporary relief for that anxiety, but it's still there. It's not gone away. You've got to keep on going out, enjoying yourself, spending time with friends and family, but also don't be afraid to have a bit of relaxation time as well. Relax. I'll be having a bath in a bit. I'll be relaxing in there, having a chill, listening to some music, maybe watching some YouTube videos or whatever else, or maybe not watching YouTube, maybe just taking a break from that. Hey DBG, how are you, mate? You okay? But yeah, it's okay sometimes to just sort of sit there and say, okay, I'm going to sit with my emotions for a while. I'm going to let them wash over me, and I'm going to see what happens. But then I'm going to pick myself up. I'm going to get up, and I'm going to do something that my anxiety don't want me to do, because I can guarantee to you that whatever it is that you're scared or anxious about doing, you'll find once you've done it that it was actually a lot easier than you thought it would be. It's never as hard as your worries, as your fears make you think. I've been through a lot of my life. I've been through gambling addiction. I've been through some emotionally abusive sort of relationships. I've been diagnosed with autism. That wasn't easy. I've had a lot of these things, but still here, still carrying on, still finding those moments of enjoyment. And you guys can as well. You can do that. It's just reaching out, saying hi. Why not say hi to somebody in the chat now? Say hi to somebody you've never said hi to before. If you're watching on the computer now, and you've got access to the chat on a mobile phone, you've got access to it. Say hi to me if you want, and I don't mind. But feel free to take that moment and just say hello. Let's all say hello now. Let's all say hello. I'm going to start off. I'll say hello first. I'll say hello. First step. There you go. Bex is saying hello to Matt. Matt's probably remembering how to say hello back. BCP said hi to everyone. He's saying hello to everyone. Jay's saying hello. Hi, Jay. Lisa's saying hello. Alan's saying hello. Nick is saying hello to the fellow mentalists. 24 people watching now. I think we can get a few more hellos in. Come on, people, get those hellos going out. Let's all say hello. Richard is saying hello. Hello, Richard. Gillian's saying hi. Hello, Gillian. Jeff says hello. Hello, Jeff. Doesn't it feel good? It feels good to me for us all to be saying hello to everyone. Yeah, Bex, you've picked an attractive man to say hello to. DBG saying hello. There you go. You see, Shimmy Timmers is saying hello. Devon Twins has said hello. There you go. 25 watching now. Vicky says hello. This is the connection that we need to make. This is the connections that can keep us forward. Andrew's better. Thank you, Bex. There you go. Sorry, Matt. The people have voted. I don't know. Matt's a popular man. Give Matt a subscribe as well if you're not already. Retro Reselling. He's on YouTube. He does eBay reselling videos. You know, let's build this community up further. Jason's there. Hi, Jason. How are you, mate? You know, we're up to 27 people watching now. So, you know, just reach out, say hello. Don't be afraid. Oh, thank you, Bex. You're my number one as well, along with my other number ones. Hi, Peter. How are you? You know, we said hello. Don't be afraid to ask people how they are as well. And don't be afraid, certainly not in my chat anyway, if you're struggling, don't be afraid to say that you're struggling as well. There's always room for that here. I don't understand emojis. But yeah, don't be afraid to, you know, open up and share your experiences. You will never get any judgment here on this channel or from me. Only understanding and compassion and occasional abuse. In good banter, of course. But yeah, we said hello. Thanks, Andrew. Wish I could talk about my anxiety. Hey, Steve, are you okay, mate? You will do one day, Matt, I'm sure. I'm sure one day, Matt, you'll sit there and you'll think, do you know what? I'm not going to make a video about, even though I've got a fantastic load of eBay sales or eBay pickups here. Hi, Mark. How are you? You're going to think, actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about my anxiety, because then you can reach out to people and those connections can build stronger. You know, and account for something. This little community we formed counts for something. Don't need compassion, understand abuse. Yeah, I forgot about the abuse. I thought I better mention that as well. Just to get, if I'm ever, you know, it's always banter, folks. It's never meant seriously. I know occasionally, sometimes people get confused. Only ever hugs, compassion, and abuse here. But yeah, that's another thing that can help as well. Shocking how many people struggle with anxiety and it's still a taboo. It definitely is. Need the motivation to list. Yeah, I've been struggling for motivation as well, Lisa. You know, but it does come. And when you're on a good day, you'll crack out a few. Yeah, don't forget to say hello to the like button, give it a hug. But yeah, that's the other thing as well, you know, don't be afraid to reach out and touch each other, hug each other, etc. You know. Hey, Brandon. 2026, Brandon. For the resign, I was going to vlog it, then came across your channel, put it on the back burner. Don't put it on the back burner, Matt. DBG always says to me, don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. And she's a very wise lady. You know, she's very true. So, you know, listen to DBG. DBG will be delighted. I've finally taken her advice on something this week as well. As hard as it has been. But yeah, don't be afraid to reach out and hug the people close to you. You know, just so I'm feeling a bit low at the minute. Do you mind if we have a hug? Gives them a boost, gives you a boost. True fact, hug for a few seconds does help. The taboo is awful. I have bipolar 2 and people treat me like I'm going to turn up at their window in the middle of the night with some sort of weapon. Yeah, the people, I find that the stigma that is around things like that can be compassion, understanding, and cutting tips. Yes, quite right. The stigma around things like that that can be out there. Hi, Diana, by the way. That can be out there is unreal, Lisa, and it comes from people not understanding. And I was there myself, you know, when I first got diagnosed with mental illness, and in the years running up to that, I did not understand what being mentally ill meant, and I didn't really have any sort of concept of it. It was only when I experienced it myself, I went through it, that I realised, how truly horrific it is and how it can be. Hey George, how are you, mate? Hey Ian, can't remember your last hug. Well, Ian, we meet in person, we'll hug each other. Deal? Yeah. Me and you, Ian, we're gonna hug each other. Yeah. When we have cellar lads, we might have a hug as well. Who knows? Man hugs. But yeah, don't be afraid to reach out to your fellow man. That's the trap that the anxiety stops you from doing that, from reaching out and from talking to other people. We've got 26 people watching now. If you've not said hello, just say hello. Just reach out and do that. It's the hardest thing in the world to type that hello when you're in that anxiety trap. But it's also the easiest thing to press those two keys on the keyboard. Hi, job done. There's so much stigma. I rarely talk about my long battle with depression, yet it was such a major thing in my life. It still informs me so much of who I am today. Absolutely. My anxiety and depression has led me to form this YouTube channel. It's led me into reselling. It's led me to meeting so many wonderful people. It's led to me forming the Money Mental Support Group on Facebook, where I regularly sound off, and other people do as well, and we have those conversations. But it hasn't all been good. Well, it's led me through some real bad experiences as well. To be fair, I've lost a lot of friends. I continue to do so now. It can be hard if I form an emotional attachment with somebody, a very close one, and then they do something that hurts me or doesn't fit with and this is where the Asperger's comes in. It doesn't fit within the process that I've got. I can uncoil and I can just go mad like that, and I just unleash carnage, and it's horrible. And I've lost a lot of good people because of it. A lot of people I care about, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. He says the worst trait is bottling everything up and activating denial. Growing up in Ireland means you can't show any of these feelings and be told to shut the going. That's really hard. That is DBG. That's bad. That I feel for you that is the culture that you've got experience there, and I wish it was different. It's Nick's got a gift, have you? What gift did you get from Nick? But yeah, it's I think the culture here in the UK around talking about it is getting better, but it's still a very hard thing to do. I mean, I still know many people who don't and won't talk about it. Hey, Daisy girl, how are you? You okay? A lot of people, and I often find it's only when I start talking about it myself that other people then are able to feel more comfortable talking about it themselves. So it's definitely a struggle, but yeah. And sometimes as well, there's other people who have similar illnesses to yourself that you want to help and reach out, but sometimes those illnesses will clash with each other as well. And, you can't always find a way to understand even sometimes the people close to you, but you'll find enough people eventually. It's not like I see eye to eye with everyone, and most people don't say eye to eye with each other all the time. But we do what we can for each other. Mark Bucks just says he's just retired. Do not have any anxiety work meetings, presentations, or traveling, but I'm still anxious. Yeah, and I think it's one of those things as well where if you've experienced it for so long, that even though the things that were causing it may no longer be there, it will still take time for it to settle down a bit, I think. And don't be hard about that. It will take time to settle, but hopefully eventually it will start to ease, and that enjoyment of life will start to come back as well, because that's one of the things that the anxiety can rob you off, and certainly depression can rob you off. And when I see my danger signs coming, sometimes I can ignore them because I know it'll go away. Other times I'll battle on until I can battle on no more. And then you've got to change the things around you, which is hard, but sometimes you've got to do that. My work's amazing. We have as many mental health first aiders as Norfolk first aiders. So we don't have any mental health first aiders in my work, as far as I'm aware. We've got normal first aiders, but it's not. It's only when I was speaking to somebody the other day about it that I was even aware that there is such a thing as a mental health first aider. So it was nice to hear about that. And again, I think that's showing that people are starting to recognise the importance of supporting people with mental health sort of issues or problems. I don't know what word people want me to use for it. I use issues and problems because that's how I view it. For other people, may want to use different language, but those are the words that make sense to me. Matt says talking is key and believing something good will happen. He who says he can and he who says he can are both usually right. Fair enough. Look forward to seeing your vlog, wherever it is. We've got a gift voucher for Nick and Angie for all you've done for me and many others. Oh, very kind, Ian. That's good, that. Now, don't be spending that gift voucher on tap, Nick. Yeah, put it to use to something to enjoy yourself and Andrea to enjoy yourselves with. No buying more tap with it. I think people have this image in their head about what mental health problems look like, and they're always shocked that it can, and it does happen to anyone. Yeah, absolutely. When I first sort of openly talked about mental health issues, because I was such a outwardly happy, outgoing, sort of confident person, people didn't think that it was anything that would ever touch me, including myself. I always thought I had the right mindset. Nothing stopped me. I'll carry on regardless. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'll go out, have fun and whatever, and that's it. It'll be fine. But it sneaks up on you, and then eventually that tidal wave will hit you. So I'm going to go back to joining the gym, I think, next week as well. So next week might even start on Friday. But yeah, you've got to. Battle's not the word. I don't think of anxiety as I think anxiety wants you to think of it as a war or a battle, because it's something that wants you to keep fighting it, and it's not. It's something you've got to find your way around, maybe, or because I think if you go through it like I do and just bang your head against it, eventually your head's going to lose. So you've got to find a way to work with it. Maybe it's like in a partnership or something. I'm still struggling to do that, but I'll get there. Can only spend it at the National Trust, so no danger of spending it on tap. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think they'll be getting much RA opportunities at the National Trust, unless they got some rare books that you can help yourself to. Bex is saying it's hard when people have set opinions, and Bex was saying she's got some diagnoses the doctors don't even necessarily are clued up on, so that must be very difficult as well, because difficult to find people who can understand that or have got the same diagnosis. But there are groups out there, there are support groups on the internet that you can reach out to. I personally prefer my group because it's people who resell and have mental health. So, and my community is people who resell and have mental health issues. That's the community that suits me, because that's what I do. So I can talk about an eBay message giving me anxiety, and the resellers will understand that. That was a self-employed contracting industrial engineer for 25 years, still not unwound. It will take time. So it helps. Yeah, Richard is in the chat, an engineer as well. I think a different type of engineer. but he was an engineer for a long time, and he's gone into reselling. I think, yeah, I mean, a lot of pressure in that engineering world, I'm sure, huge amounts of pressure, you know. You get something wrong there, bad stuff could happen. But yeah, not so, as you know it, Captain, as above, so below. Think of it as in reverse, as below, so above. The ground is both under you. I don't understand any of that. You live inside Earth. I guess you only live inside yourself, really, don't you? I think that's what you're trying to say there. But yeah, my life can be full of hard choices. Sometimes there's a lot of talk about toxic people, toxic relationships, and such like, and cutting those out. Not every relationship or person you have to walk away from is a toxic person. It's just you've got to think about the impact that things have on you, and sometimes you've got to put yourself hard first as well. It's another hard choice, but sometimes you just got to say, you know, something isn't working out for me. I need to move away from it. Beck says, finding reselling has been a game changer for her. Helps her busy, helps her gain confidence and meet new people, all while making money. And Ian says, he got very emotional today. Did you see the lad who killed himself after a concert? Lovely lad on BBC, shot down, etc. Yeah, I've not seen the article, Ian, but I have been there before where I've seen something come up on the news or whatever about somebody. DBG, I think you're up on this one. I think you're the only spanner in, or Nick. Spanner time. I was going to say, yeah, I think I've had that before, Ian, where there's just been an article that comes up. Thank you, DBG. An article comes up and it just gets to you. Just for me, sometimes it can remind me of when I've been in that position myself, and it gets to me from that perspective. Or sometimes it's just because it hits the compassion right there, and you just like you really feel for that person who's gone through it, and it hits you for that. You know, so yeah, I've not seen that article. I've seen others where I've just been like, you know, sort of openly weeping, reading something, and you know, people may think I'm a hard-nosed reseller. Hi Lucy, how are you? But I do have a soft side as well, you know, not just a hard-nosed reseller. We've got 35 people watching now, so if you've not said hello and you're slightly anxious about doing so, don't be. Do feel free just to say hi. You're amongst friends here. This is a safe space to talk in. DBG and Diana and Matt and whatever are all here to keep the chat flowing and such like. So yeah, but definitely, as you say, Jason, DBG definitely a strong-minded woman. She stubborn as a mule sometimes as well, in a good way. But you know, when her mind's set on something, that's it. She goes for it, sort of thing. Hi, Lisa. I've been through a fair bit in the past. We come out the other side, give you a good helmet. But you know, it's all right as well to say, actually, you know, things are not okay at the minute. Don't be afraid to do that. Yeah, over 500 subs now. Thank you everyone for who subscribed as well. Can't wait to do the Shrek species confirmation live, which will probably be next week. I'm still waiting for my Shrek mask to come. And hopefully Corey has sent me a 1.4 million Scoville hot sauce to try out as well. So that'll be coming live on a Cooking with Andrew soon. So, you know, yeah, here's the next 500. Get to 1,000 subscribers. Oh, I don't even know what we're going to do for the 1,000 subscriber thing. Seems to be a sort of a certain threshold of YouTube, and then it just keeps on going. We have to keep Brandon happy as well and do some come thrift with me in the future. You know, there'll be a lot of good things coming along in the future. I talk about the future as if it's a scary thing sometimes, but it isn't always. There are many good things coming along. There's a meetup for resellers on the 15th of June in Wrexham. May as well plug that now. Hosted by yours truly. So if anybody wants a trip up to Wrexham, wants to come meet me in person, feel free to come over. I don't bite, unless people want me to. Doing a quiz tonight. I probably won't do a quiz, to be honest, Nick. The energy's not there for a quiz. And I've got an Xbox to test. But yeah, he sell himself to all the women for super chats if he gets to 1,000. Yeah, I need to calm that down a bit, really, don't I? To be fair, 1.4 child's play. The flipping Nandos is only 30,000. I found out. We're looking at the Nandos hot sauce. That's only 30,000. And that's too hot for me. With this 1.4 million stuff, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die live on YouTube. You watch me head like literally explode. Aid started some false poll in the chat about what challenges I should be doing. I'm not doing no challenges, Aid. Forget about that. I only agreed to this hot sauce because I thought, oh, that sounds nice. That'll go well on me for heaters. I didn't really understand what scobles were. If you get to 1,000 subs and do a live naked, you'll be banned from YouTube. Not having any onions. Onions, as we know, are a crime against humanity. They is banned from life. So we can't make noise. The joy of being a full-time carer for family. Don't worry about it, Ian. I've not even booked my hotel yet. I need to do that in a bit. I've not sorted anything out for that. Work will go mad. Chili sauce too hot for me. Yeah, I'm all right with chili sauce, just about. But yeah, tough times. 1.4 million scoreboards. I don't know what Corey's going to do to me. And he says he has it on his Doritos. His chili hot wave Doritos. The chili hot wave Doritos are only too hot for me. Anyway, yeah, back to the subject. So yeah, we've talked about a few different things in terms of anxiety. We've talked about, reaching out to others around you. We've talked about distracting you. I mean, ultimately, you've got to find out the things that are making you anxious and why. For me, I've probably not ever said this before, or maybe I have, but for me, what makes me anxious is, and this will come as a shock to people, but it's relationships, and particularly relationships with the opposite sex. That is the thing that absolutely rips me apart. I don't know why, but I say in my therapist today, they genuinely scare me. I think it's because I don't know what I'm doing, and I hate not knowing what I'm doing. And yeah, got no practice, no experience of it, but yeah, absolutely terrifies me, which is odd given how much I'm usually on the prowl, as the ladies will know. But yeah, every time somebody gets close to me, the anxiety kicks in and I go bang like that. It's horrific, and I've got to find a way through that, because all that happens is I end up burning bridges, nuking people, whatever, or I just go for ones that I know are unavailable to me, so that I know the outcome of what's going to happen. And I can't do that. I've got to start going for the available and taking something and start going for the opportunities that are there, and find a way to start having this awful, horrible terror that just makes me behave in a way that is not me. If anyone's got any ideas how I can do that, believe me, I'm open to all of them, because it's I'm starting to push through some of that. DBG, you've been screenshotting Matt's offer of being naked, have you? I tell you what, if I offered to go naked for 1,000 subs, I would lose all 500 that I've got now straight away. That'd be it. It'd be down to 0 subs. So I promise not to go naked for 1,000 subscribers. How about that, folks? If I get to 1,000 subscribers, I promise I will not go naked. Yeah, Lex would love that. I was chatting to Lex earlier. She would love that, Matt. Lovely lady Lex. Blue hair. Yeah, I don't. I think, you know, should I get blue hair? I don't think I could get blue hair. I think I would look daft with blue hair. But yeah, if anyone has got any tips or advice for, you'd love to see you streaming as a couple. See who streaming as a couple, Ian. Do you mean Matt and Lex? He's already married, is Matt. But yeah, if anyone has got any tips for how I can conquer this awful fear of sort of women in relationships, feel free to pop them in the chat or send me a message. I'm always available on the Instagram, Money Mental UK, or send me a message on the Facebook. You know, I'm always there, always happy to chat to people on the Facebook Messenger. Andrew Nolan on Facebook. You'll see me on the chat quite a lot. But yeah, I don't know how to do it. It's like my final barrier. I'm not anxious about work anymore. Sorted out that. Just need to get past this last one, because I can't have another few weeks like the ones I've just had. I really can't. The friend first. I have the opposite though, Bex. I can reach that stage, get friends, and then I just go loopy, just utterly crazy. It's mad. As soon as I get feelings, loopy tunes kicks in, and I just go mental. Just utterly mental. I don't know. Who knows? The brain power, my brain power, is failing to find a solution. What happens? Oh, well, all the anxiety symptoms kick in, Bex, as we know, as we talked about. That all kicks in. I'll be thinking about the future, that big scary thing. But I'll be telling myself, oh, they don't like me, or they hate me, or whatever, all of that stuff as well. So the low self-esteem will come in. I'll overreact to anything that happens that I don't understand. And eventually I'll just get angry and tell him to go away, sort of thing, which is, well, bad. If I'm dating someone I'm not interested in, I'm completely chilled, and I'm like the opposite. It's really bad. You know, so I have dated single women before, but I've not really been in it. So just whatever happens doesn't matter to me. It's mad. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just a confused mess of a human being, but then I think we all are. That's why we're all here, right? That's why we're all talking. This is why we watch it, you know. So yeah, there are ups and downs, which is sort of the subject of this. Because I can also use that anxiety to drive me on to do stuff. You know, it can be a real motivator. Just be yourself. Don't overthink it. Works for yourself. Yeah, that's the expression I struggle with. The being myself. It's the autism in me that can't figure that one out, because say that to an autistic like me, and all you say is, I am myself. I can't be anyone else. It's a tough one for us to understand, the being yourself thing. You're saying be relaxed, basically. Just, you know, whatever will be, sort of thing. But yeah, I had to have 6 months of therapy to understand that expression. Believe it or not. But yeah, it's a hard thing, and it's not like you can bring a chaperone either. Yeah, definitely the mentalist family. It'd be like, so I'm going, right, this is a thing I'm doing now, right? On Saturday, I'm going to a singles event. There's like a meetup for the singles of Wrexham and Chester. So there's about, I don't know, about 40, 50 of us getting together, maybe more, in Chester. My mate's coming with me, hopefully, Ryan. He's a good subscriber to this channel, long-term fan. Thank you, Ryan, if you watch him. Hopefully he's coming with me. I'm going to be anxious when I go there, I know it. But I'll have a few pints, be a bit of banter. It'll be like when we was in Wolves, Matt. It'll be like, you know, exactly the same. Few pints, bit of banter, relax into it. You know, we've seen me chatting up Leah and whatever. But then again, it's just, wasn't interested in Leah in that way as such, you know. I just wanted to get to know her a bit, maybe. But, you know, who knows what can happen. But yeah, I'm going to go there. But we'll probably have to do like a video. I'd love to broadcast live from the singles event, so you could all sort of see it and be there. But unfortunately, YouTube does not let you do it. Yeah, but the thing is, Ian. Hey, Rod, plane ticket. Yeah, yeah. That's the other thing I struggle with, that finding when you're not looking, because like I can't switch the brain off. But hopefully I'll find a way. Yeah, don't let it all be back, DBG. It is, as you say, quite mild. It's just sometimes I don't understand things and it frustrates me, that's all. But yeah, no, there's certainly people who've got it far worse, and I've got friends who have it to a similar sort of degree as me, who are in sort of happy and fulfilling relationships. So I know it can be done. So, don't think I'm on a downer about that at all. I'm just, it's just struggle to understand things sometimes. Rod, yeah, if I get me million, Rod, I would definitely get you a plane ticket to come over. Just need to make that million. But yeah, what I was saying, Ian, even if I explain at the start, it's usually I'm explaining to the wrong person anyway. But even if I do, I'm still going to go nuclear at some point. It's whether or not we'll survive the nuclear apocalypse. To be honest, nobody's perfect. Lots of people have mental illness and problems. Yeah, absolutely. Support each other and talking opposite. I think you talk about. Thank you, Susie Timbers. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so there's his ups and downs. Coming on. Hi, Chris. How are you? Coming on it. Making a million is easy. Yes, I saw £1 million though. Harder. If I could make like £1 million tomorrow, ooh, not the carnage, but the stuff I do, I'd be all over. I'd go down to Australia, I'd visit Rod, I'd go to America, visit the American friends over there, say hi Vicky, say hi Jay, sort of thing, tour the UK, it'd be ace. Just need to sell a £1 item to 1 million people. True. I'm sick about my brother's future. No idea what's in store for him. Can't ever see him having a partner. Yeah, I can imagine DBG is hard. They have, I don't know if they do it in Ireland, but they have a series here, the Undateables. And it can be quite an inspirational program, because you do see people there who've got severe conditions, like, or severe levels, I should say, of autism, etc. I don't believe in calling anything a severe condition. It's just what you've got. But you've got severe levels of autism, etc. But then they do manage to find matches, and some of them have gone on to have sort of long, healthy, happy relationships. So no, it can be done. Yeah, I'd buy $1 million worth of tat. You're right. My younger brother also has Asperger's, but extreme to the extent that he needs to leave the house in an exact minute to go to work, otherwise he's in a meltdown. That is tough. That is, George. Tough. Yeah, and the meltdowns are tough. When I have a meltdown, it's definitely not pleasant. I've had meltdowns in Aldi before when they've moved the aisles around, and I'm quite lucky in that, if I get out of that situation, the meltdown's usually over. I'll just go somewhere else. If I have a meltdown when I've had a few drinks, it's utter carnage though. And yeah, and I will just push people away big time as well, and yeah, and then feel bad. But sometimes you do it. I've had kitchen chains, chairs broke off my back in the middle of meltdowns. There's some and I just, yeah, tough. I wish there was something that I could do to help these things. It definitely is a broad spectrum. I'm lucky where I am. How the mountains here when it's a nightmare. I can't cope. Like literally going to buy one thing. Oh no, it's moved. Oh, stuff it. Just keep it where it is. Stop moving it. It's horrible. But yeah, I've never had a meltdown as bad as that. I've had bad ones before where I've, especially when I was a kid. where I've ended up in, you know, getting into a fight with someone or whatever because I've had a meltdown. But since I've been an adult, you know, I've never sort of exhibited it physically, fortunately, which is why I think it took me so long to get sort of diagnosed. I mean, physically by, you know, physically towards another person or anything like that. And I've been pushed right to the edge by people before, you know, and I've never got physical or anything like that. So, you know, I know that I've been lucky in that regard, but other people are not that lucky, unfortunately. It is a hard condition, and the further down the spectrum you are, obviously the harder it is. You know, so I am grateful to be where I am in that regard. But yeah, we'll get there anyway. As I say, back on subject. I've been on the medication for my doctor friend. So, yeah, me too, Mark. Me too. I'm on. I'll just see if I can get some light on. Just bear with me a second, folks. This might turn into a sequel if I pull this camera out. Hang on. I'll move you with me. I am currently on what am I on? I'm on venlafaxine at the moment for mine. And to be honest, I'm not on that higher dose because, you know, I'm coping. I am managing quite well, to be fair. You know, I'm doing my job. I'm doing a good job. You know, I'm getting all my eBay orders out and whatever. Yeah, I'm not listing stuff at the minute, but, you know, generally speaking, I go out in public, I'm fine. But yeah, it's definitely what I'm on. I'll have a brew. Cheers, Matt. But yeah, I think I might well be on medication for the rest of my life. That's fine if that's what it is. That's okay. I've seen what I'm like without it, and I do not want to go back to that space. My little boy is going through diagnosis for Asperger's. The meltdowns are extreme and hard to catch before he gets to the point. Yeah, I can only imagine how, and you must suffer as well, Devon twins, watching that, because you know that there's not necessarily anything you can do at that point either. So, you know, you're watching somebody else suffer that you sort of really love and care about it. You know, I can only begin to imagine how bad that must feel. You know, if anything happens to somebody I care about, you know, I feel it very deeply. So yeah, that sounds horrific. Tea, no sugar. I'll have one tea and milk in mine. My doctor advised me to give up alcohol, been teetotal for 3 months. Yeah, the booze definitely doesn't help. I find with me, if I'm depressed or anxious like I am now, like I won't drink until this is sort of over. If I'm in a sort of good state mentally, then I'm all right. It's okay. If I'm in a bad state, then obviously it'll lead to a bad place. So, you know, yeah, it's definitely but at the same time, you know, you become addicted to that temporary relief as well that you get from the alcohol. You know, I mean, I was feeling bad on Saturday night, so I had a couple of drinks just because I just needed a break from it. So yeah, you know, it's a tough one, but I won't drink anything today. You know, because I know what I'm like. Friday I've got the day off. I may well hit the pub on Friday, but I think on Saturday I'll be all right because I've got the singles event to look forward to. And if anyone's got any tips they want to give me to the singles event, as I was going to say, unfortunately I can't live broadcast from it because I'm not at 1,000 subscribers. If I get to 1,000 subs, I could live broadcast me dating exploits. Although I think that might go down there badly with some of the other participants. But yeah, I might do a little vloggy thingy. I might not. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, if anyone's got any tips they want to share for it, or any winning chat up lines, I probably won't use any chat up lines, but any winning experiences they want to share, would be great. I'm mostly just sort of going in there just to meet a few new people, to be honest. I'm not going in there thinking, oh, I'm going to get a girlfriend or anything. I'm literally just going there thinking, Oh, some new people to meet, might get on with some of them, might be some new friends to make, sort of thing. See how it goes. Drop a whiskey as well. Matt's still making the tea, is he? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm sort of looking forward to it. Hopefully Ryan will still sort of go to it. He says he will. So he's 99% certain. I hate that. I had to give up work because I can't face going. I've got to work there for 22 years. Sorry to hear that, Mark. I guess I don't know if you're doing the reselling, Mark, but there's an expression I use that I like, that every cloud has a silver lining. So while times are obviously tough at the moment and you're giving at that work, there could be a new opportunity just round the corner, a new piece of work or a new thing to do that actually you enjoy doing more, that doesn't make you as anxious as work. I mean, I get anxious about work. Yeah, I was a pro around the year, obviously, after 16 pints, or however many it was. I'm better when I'm in company, in that regard sometimes. So, like when we were in Wolverhampton, obviously, you were there, Richard was there, Steve was there, and I come through around all three of you. So, but that just allowed me to relax a little. Then we had our YouTube crowd, so I was, I felt dead comfortable. No, not speed dating, just a few people going out. Like I say, a few, about 40 or 50 people going out, getting drunk together in Chester, who all happen to be single. Hey, Chris, you okay, mate? Knowing my luck, I'll turn up and I'll be like, oh, I like this girl, get on really well with a girl, and then find out that she's the organizer and isn't single. Because I think there's one or two of the organisers that aren't single. So that'll be the joy that I'll experience. But you never know. Might meet the future wife, but it is difficult for me. And a big problem I have is that I met this girl, who I never talk about because it's still sore for me, really. But let's call her Crazy Karen. I met her when I was 25 or something, and we became very close. We were close friends for about 2 years. And then she told me she was in love with me, and I felt exactly the same, and I couldn't say it back. And then it just turned into a massive car crash. I went massively off the scale in terms of meltdowns and such like. And that's when I first got diagnosed with anxiety and depression and stuff. And I never really got past that in some regards, and that still, I think, holds me back now. But that is what it is. She's gone now. I'm not the person I was then. You know, I've moved on with my life, but I hadn't really found anyone since then that I felt that level of emotion about. But yeah, strange. What made her crazy? Me, probably. I don't know. I think she might have had an element of borderline personality disorder as well. To be fair, or certainly that's what the the, the therapists think. But yeah, she was very. Uh, I mean, she was 12 years older than me and had never been in a relationship. So it was. There were obviously some issues there in play that weren't just me own. I have to objectify sometimes when I people as well, though, when I get, because that's the only way how I can handle like detaching myself from the emotional pain. Borderline personality disorder, yeah. I think hers was undiagnosed as well, Beck. So I don't think there was any, you know, you've got a video about it, have you? I should watch that. I don't think there was any. Yeah, don't think I'm calling you crazy, by the way, Bex. I'm not. This is simply how I get that detachment from her in that situation, is that I objectify it just to make it easier for me. I know it doesn't make it easier. No, it's. I imagine not. It's. Obviously I've looked into it. It sounds like a really hard thing to live with. Oh, have I missed something? Cup is ready and free to take a biscuit. I'll have a chocolate bourbon, please, Matt. Except that it was a horrible disorder. Yeah, horrific. And I think, I don't know for you, but for me, when I was diagnosed with my stuff, it eventually made it easier in terms of, well, at least there's something there you can understand and get your head around. But there's also the hard thing that I'm sure you probably had to face, that it's always going to be there to some extent, and that, you know, this is going to be who you are now. But you know, yeah. And Chris is there now as well. As you see, Chris makes some good YouTube videos about reselling content, but maybe we'll see a bit more of Chris in the future. Who knows? He doesn't do Facebook, unfortunately, so he can't be my Facebook friend. But he's a good lad, is Chris. Who I've had the pleasure of meeting in person. But yeah, it's remarkable the effect these things can have on your life, and you know, how it can shape everything for you. But at the end of the day, you got to go with it. It is who you are. You got to go with it. You got to accept it. You got to go with it. This is who I am. Take me or leave me. And as you know, Bex, I'd happily take you. So you know, there you go. I was really lucky. My doctor arranged me to see a counsellor in 3 weeks. That's good going. That is, Mark. I think when it took about 3 months for me, and I was a mess by then. It might have even been longer. It might have been 6 months. So yeah, I'm glad that you've got that support in. Yeah, Chris, not a fan of Facebook. I've used Instagram, but I don't know. I like Facebook because I've used it for so long. I'm comfortable with it. I tell you about it, I found out, but I also felt relieved because I thought it was crazy. But nowadays, this is another thing about the stigma. This word "crazy" that people use, myself included, means so much to so many people, but it's just a label, isn't it? At the end of the day, that we put on things that we can't explain. To be fair, do they have like an NHS equivalent in Ireland? I don't know what the healthcare system's like in Ireland. And I suffer with BPD, depression, and anxiety. So I've got depression, anxiety, and the Asperger's, but you know, I managed to remain charming despite, as the ladies will tell you. Still got that cheeky wink. Hey Corey, how are you, mate? You okay? I can tell you is Corey. Yeah, the BP. I was thinking the BPD one would be the one that people struggle with. It's a hard one to diagnose and a hard one to understand. Sometimes people try and confuse it with bipolar as well. It's not the same thing at all. It's a different thing. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of NHS pay for the heck for everything. Oh, disappointing that. DVG, need to come over here, become a millionaire, come over here, and then get healthcare for free when you're a millionaire. That's the trick. But yeah, no, it's definitely very different. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. As you say, we've got to keep looking forward to the future, keep planning things to do, spend time with the people you love and care about, make those connections with people like the connections we've made today with each other. You know, I'm sure all of us who've remained here now will remember some of what we shared. Share those experiences. They say sharing is caring, and it genuinely is. You know, it does help to share what you're going through with other people, because you will find that there are other people going through the same as well. Sometimes you will go through tough times where you have to burn some bridges, you have to nuke some stuff. It's the horrible, it's the hardest, it's the worst thing ever. It is. You know, it'll cut you up, but the long-term gain is worth the short-term pain sometimes. Two-story Corey, yeah, he's there. So yeah, I'm gonna go and make some dinner in a minute. I've got an Xbox to test for one of my lucky subscribers is buying an Xbox off me, so I need to make sure that's working. See if I can find some games for her as well to play on as a Brucey bonus. get underway with that and get something to eat. But it's been good to have this moment with you all. I thought it was important that we had a mental health talk and focused on mental health without quizzes or other things to distract us. They're good fun and I enjoy them, but we'll leave the fun stuff for cooking with Andrew, I think. So yeah, thanks all joining tonight. Never mind, Corey, don't worry, mate. Chris is Test Electronics. We've had a good chat. DBG's got a shed load of listing. Well, get on that listing, DBG. Smash out eBay Island. And yeah, don't forget, folks, I'm always here if anyone needs to have a chat. I do get a lot of messages sometimes, so don't be alarmed if I don't respond straight away or anything. It's just literally me working through the backlog, you know, and don't, can't say they'll be having any sleepless nights over me or anything like that, as some people have, because I'm always all right, mate. But yeah, reach out to each other, reach out to the people of the Money Mental support group. Feel free to reach out to me and have those conversations. So thanks, everyone. No worries, cheers. Thanks all. Right, I need to, the stop podcast. Bye all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.